Okay, so today we have Morrissey. People are the same everywhere. And this is, I do believe, from the Janice Long sessions. I don't believe as well that there is a proper studio version of this. But anyway, I went with this one. So let's get into it, talk about it after. People are the same everywhere. Sounds a bit philosophical. It's an intriguing title. So anyway, let's get into it. And 3 minutes, 11 seconds. Here we go. Yeah. The rocker.
Aside, you'll find people are the same everywhere. Hoist me from the herd and people are the same everywhere. Then our creator had to stumble and stall, and our creator had to make the biggest mistake of all. Aside and find people are the same everywhere. Scoop me from the group and groups are the same everywhere. Yeah. Then our creator had to stumble and stall, and our creator had to make the biggest mistake of all. Here in our loveless nation, we're all in a rush to find a lover's touch, and when it's found, you wonder why it meant so much. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Breakdown.
Boom. It's over. Morrissey, people are the same everywhere. I gotta say, like, I don't know what to say. So this, like I did say at the top when we started off, I mean, I love how I believe Matt Walker counted it in there with the drumsticks, and here we go. What a rocker. I don't know where the fuck it's there. I'll start with Matt then. I always love how thunderous he sounds. I say it every friggin' week, but I don't know if there is this. I guess there are some songs I've heard where he does play lightly or whatever he plays for the song. But again, here's a song where he can just rock out and just go so quick, and he just sounds so fast, he sounds so frantic. But that's the vibe for the whole song. I mean, the keyboards here, I do believe, from is it Gustavo here? I guess I'll look at the personnel because why not? I can. Yeah, Gustavo Manzier there on keyboards for this track. Lively, my God, and just how kind of wiry they sounded too, and futuristic at points too. I mean, near the end of the track, it almost sounded like lasers or something, which came out of nowhere. Almost a bit of new wave sounding. This track, which again is so rocking, that was surprising to me. There are so many different feelings I got, so many different vibes going on here that were just surprising to me. But anyway, and then as well, the guitar work here, which I talked about, things kind of being frantic. That guitar work was frantic at points. It was edgy. And I love the playfulness, the play back and forth, or just the interconnectedness. Is that the word? My God, between who's on the guitar here? My God, Bosmore, Jesse Tobias are both on guitar. It says here, and Matt Walker on drums. I feel like they played together really well. There's a couple of breakdowns in the song there where, or I want to say it was the breakdowns where just that sound of the just for a couple seconds. I wish they did that more. That would have been I don't know, that would have been fun to me. But I just really enjoyed that, how kind of rocking that felt, and just how kind of I guess how much I liked it. But there you go. And as well, groovy. I just gotta say, the guitar work here I thought was groovy. I mean, that's one word that really comes to mind. And just there's such a groove to everything here, and just how I don't know how bombastic and loud everything was, and how bold it was. And I guess, you know, this, I'd never know what to expect. Like last week, I reacted to Journalists Who Lie from Morrissey, and I thought that song might be a rocker like this, but it was not. It was more, you know, light and more, I don't know, not as serious as I thought he was going to be. But then here you have this song, and I mean, he doesn't really sound serious. I mean, the song started out, I thought it was going to be a bit more serious, but by the end of it, especially, it became bleak as hell. It became, I just love how he would say, you know, people are the same everywhere, and that sucks. You know, that's almost what I get here, the connotation of, you know, because sometimes people talk about we're the same everywhere. I think of the George Carlin bit, I gotta say, when he talks about, you know, everyone, I don't know if it's politicians or people, whatever, but people always want to talk about the differences between us. Why don't we talk about some of these things we have in common, you know, some of these similarities we have. And that's kind of where Morrissey, I would say, is going here. But when you talk like that, it's like, you know, we're all kind of similar in a way. Isn't that fun? But here it's like Morrissey is saying, you know, everyone's the same, and he's rolling his eyes while he says it. And I just love that, you know, some self-deprecating humor, of course, but also just some maybe dark humor in a way, or just some kind of light humor. Anyway, it's playful, it's funny, and you know, it became more playful and funny, as I kind of mentioned there, as it continues to go on. And Morrissey's voice, I don't even think I mentioned the man himself on vocals, for God's sakes, but I just love his strong, I guess, baritone, high notes, I guess you would say. I mean, he doesn't really go to a higher register, but his voice, you know, gets up there. And especially near the end of the song, I got a freaking cat here in my nose or something. Anyway, especially near the end of the song when he's doing his woes, I was like, is he going to stop? But and then the song was about to end there, so he did. But yeah, I got to say, because I have seen differing comments about his voice here when I was doing some research on the song. And people saying, you know, it sounds like his voice kind of struggles, but I mean, just from this session anyway, I thought he sounded all right. I thought he sounded good, like I said, strong, and fit the song pretty well. And you know, I could hear him over all the loud crashing, you know, music, so that was nice as well. But it fit. Yeah, I thought his voice fit the vibe, you know, for, again, the vibe being so rocking and so just, you know, crazy almost in a way, and like I said, kind of frantic and frenetic, and all those words come to mind there. But yeah. Good Lord, I want to get into these lyrics, I guess, because again, it's just so crazy. I just love where he's coming from here, and you know, talking about our related, all these things we relate on, and just kind of talking about how we're all the same, whatever, but at the same time, that kind of sucks that we're all the same. So let me go here to the lyrics, for God's sakes. So, set me aside, you'll find people are the same everywhere. And I just think about, too, I think this was written around like 2011 from what I've read. And again, I'm sure people want to set Morrissey aside. They want to they want to take him out of their groups or whatever. But it's almost like he's talking to these people that don't like him, you know, these people who are the critics, whatever it is. I mean, this is what goes on in my head here. And they're saying, all right, take me out, whatever. But at the same point, you're going to find people like me. We're all the same everywhere. Because when you, I guess where he's coming from too, when you want to talk about, you know, the philosophical vibe, when you take everything away, the politics, the religion, I don't know, the money, the class system, whatever the hell it is, when you just look at us like a person, you know, I guess you're not even a nude person, whatever it is, we're all the same. You know, we're all just on this earth, you know, going through space, whatever the hell. And we're all going to die one day. And one day the earth will be no more. And we think we know what we're doing. But at the same point, nobody really knows what we're doing. And we could, yeah, yeah, the uncertainty of all of that and how we kind of all have that in common. So when you get down to the bare bones, that's almost where I feel like he's coming from in a way. And he says, you know, and these similarities, you know, it's a shame that we have them. Anyway, So that comes to my mind off the top there. But yeah, people are the same everywhere. You know, once you're going to find so many people that are the same everywhere. Hoist me up from the herd. People are the same everywhere. Or not hoist me up, hoist me from the herd, and people are the same everywhere. Again, put me wherever you want. People are the same everywhere. It doesn't matter what you do with me. Then our creator had to stumble and stall, and our creator had to make the biggest mistake of all. And just the yeah. What does that remind me of? I know there's so many different songs that obviously have a singer saying yeah, but there were points in this song, especially with the yeahs, not the band, but that sounded familiar. I don't know why. It's just, but that was one part anyway. The yeah. I don't know what song I'm thinking of, but I don't even think it's a Morrissey or Smith song. But there are different parts here that I was like, it sounds familiar. But anyway, I've never heard this song, but yeah. There we go. And when he talks about our creator, obviously I think about God, or maybe he's talking about society here. Just we all make mistakes no matter who we are. I mean, that comes to mind as well. Set me aside and find, again, you can set me aside, do whatever you want, but you'll find people are the same everywhere. You know, you'll find somebody like me who you don't like either. My goodness, that's what comes to my mind anyway. Stoode me from the group. I've never really heard that word stoode me, but I guess it pretty much means, you know, take me away from the group, hoist me from the group, same kind of feeling. And groups are the same everywhere. Again, people in groups, you know, they're the same everywhere. Then our creator had to stumble and stall, and our creator had to make the biggest mistake of all. And when he says that too, I'm thinking, is he talking about make the biggest mistake of all? And when you're talking about in a spiritual or religious connotation, and we're talking about how the creator's biggest fault was making humans, or I don't know, that comes to mind there anyway, or making us like this anyway. You know, all this stuff comes. I feel like this song is up to interpretation in different ways. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, he had the biggest mistake of them all, and then the yes, which is just very. I know it's just a 4-letter word, but I just loved how he said it, and I just love his delivery on it, and it is catchy, and I just feel like the yeah it's just gonna be in my head for the rest of the night. Anyway, then we go on to the next part, and this is the part where I'm like, it became a bit more funny to me anyway. It's a shame, but people are the same everywhere. And again, I feel like he's talking to somebody, who's having trouble with him or whatever the hell. And he's kind of just saying, yeah, it's a shame, you don't like me, but people are the same everywhere. So what the hell? It's a shame. And then we have, it gets a little bit, now we're talking about the U.S. here anyway, I would say. And land of the free and home of the brave exists nowhere. Again, it's just these, these are just, what is it? I guess a phrase or whatever the hell that the U.S. has. The land of the free, the home of the brave. I believe it says it in their anthem, I want to say. But anyway, at the end of the day, when you get down to it, that exists nowhere. Nobody's free. Nobody is in the home of the brave. Again, when you talk about our similarities, you might think, oh yes, we are part of the land of the free and the home of the brave. But again, he's very bleak. He's very pessimistic, I want to say too. And I mean, would you think he's any other way? No. Here in our loveless nation, then we go again, because he always has to talk about love. Here in our loveless nation, we are all in a rush to find a lover's touch. But when he said we're all in a rush, and they took a kind of a pause to find a lover's touch, like both ways work. Yes, we're all in a rush to find love. I mean, I feel like, maybe not all of us, but at the same time, people who are single might want, to not be single anymore. But also we're all in a rush. I mean, some of us are all in a rush, whether it's through work or through, whatever you are doing in your life, you're always going to be on time doing something. And, school as well, we're always in a rush to, complete tasks, throughout our day. And, sometimes we never take time to stop and, smell the roses, as they say. But yeah, to find a lover's touch, there you go. And when it's found, you wonder why it meant so much. And again, we're after that love, and then when you find love, hey, it sucks too. It's a shame. Things get so much more bleak by the end, and I just love it. It's a shame that people are the same. It's a shame, but people are the same. Nothing you can do about it. It all just sucks, and then one day you die. So I just love how he kind of made this funny, and I don't know if it's supposed to be funny or not, but that's where what it did to me. It made me laugh, kind of chuckle at points, and as you can see here throughout the whole reaction and in reading these lyrics, it's just, I love the way he looks at our similarities and and how people are the same everywhere. And that's not something we should really bond over. It's something to be ashamed of. It's something to look at and be like, oh crap, we're all the same. Anyway, Yeah, so I enjoyed this performance, I gotta say, and just again how much of a rocker it was, and just how bombastic everything was, and just so hard hitting, and yeah, so and how Morrissey, I mean, he's very Morrissey here. That sounds dull to say, but yeah, through lyricism, through his voice, and through his dry wit. I mean, I would say, yeah, this is full of dry wit. This is full of humor that maybe some people won't like or whatever. You know, we're talking about these things, but you know, talking about how we're all the same and it sucks. But I liked it. So there you go. So thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting. Finally came to this track, even though I thought, like I said, I've already done it, but I'm glad I've done it today because again, it was very catchy and very relatable. God, and I guess that's the point, to be relatable. So there you go. Anyway, thanks for everything. I don't know if I already said. Thanks for watching, subscribing, liking, all the stuff, all the support, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.